Economy, which in the past was battered by a civil war, is back on track, and a quiet revolution seems to be unfolding in the science and technology sector. We are now being joined on the morning show by Salima Bah, who is Sierra Leone's Minister of Communications, Technology and Innovation. Ms. Bah's mandate includes leading the government's digital transformation agenda and the country's digital economy and innovation entrepreneurship strategic development. And our focus, amongst other things, shall be on the role of the ministry she superintends in job creation, community building, and education. It is so good to have you on this morning show this morning, Ms. Bah. Welcome. And welcome to Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much and good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So you resumed office as the Minister of Communication, Technology and Innovation in September of last year. So let us know, what has the journey been like so far, and what are your personal objectives in accepting this role, and what should we see from you in terms of Nigerians also? Are you reaching out to us in Nigeria?
Absolutely. So actually we resumed office in July, and it's been a really not up and down, but it's been an interesting journey because the Ministry of Communication, Tech and Innovation is actually a new establishment. So a lot of the work within the first 6 months have gone towards setting up the institution, setting up a structure, which could be challenging. It has its pros and cons because of, I say this to say that I feel as if sometimes I'm starting behind the starting line compared to other ministries who came in on day one and they had a structure in place. But actually, I also see the benefits of it because I get to kind of influence what the design and that structure looks like. So that's been an interesting journey in of itself. And definitely part of the plan is really the focus is really how we can support and really kickstart the Sierra Leonean tech ecosystem with the hopes of creating a pipeline from ideation to commercialization, as well as creating digital jobs. So, and that kind of leads to my journey, or my trip to Nigeria really is about one, putting Sierra Leone on the map in terms of when it comes to the global tech industry, because if we're speaking about that and we speak about the contribution of Africa, I think Nigeria plays a significant role in that. So that was really important for me. But then also part of the trip is really to bring the message that Sierra Leone is an open market, to invite private tech companies that are in Nigeria to come to Sierra Leone and see it as a viable option in terms of expanding their market.
All right, Honorable Minister, thanks for joining us on the morning show. At 32, you are the youngest in the cabinet of Sierra Leone, cabinet of President Bio. I'd like you to take us through how this is a new thing, how this impacts the young generation in Sierra Leone. Being a lawyer, being at 32, I know that you have spent 4 years at the precursor to the ministry, which is the Directorate, I believe, of Science and Innovation, where you worked for 4 years. Tell us how this new role as a minister is different from what you have done for 4 years before now, and then what in precise terms will you be doing with Nigeria in terms of collaboration? Our own Minister for Technology, Communications here is also one of the youngest, and it came from the Tech Hub Private Sector Initiative. I'm sure you must have met with him, Bosun Tijani. If you have, tell us the sort of experience that you have shared with him, and how will working with Nigeria be different with what you have with Kazakhstan, which I believe that you have already signed an MOU with.
Thank you. Definitely the experience of being 32 and one of the youngest, well, the youngest in Sierra Leone cabinet, but I also believe one of the youngest around the region, has been an amazing journey because not many 32 or 33-year-olds get to be called to serve their country in that way. So it's been the absolute honor of my life and my family as well. But the significant difference in terms of what I did 4 years ago versus what I'm doing now is really being at the leadership position. A lot of the work that I'm currently doing is work we had already started, and I was leading on as a director at that directorate, but the president believed that because of the successes that we had during his first term, that there was a need to scale up the mandate to a ministerial role, and it's pleased him to appoint me to lead his vision that he has for technology in Sierra Leone. So most of the work is around that, and also working with our Chief Innovation Officer, actually, who's currently the Chief Minister, but also wears the hat as the Chief Innovation Officer for Sierra Leone. But I also want to say the young revolution in Sierra Leone in terms of the cabinet appointment doesn't stop with me, actually. It has been a significant movement by His Excellency the President in intentionally appointing young people in very key positions within the government. Within the cabinet, actually, 60% of his cabinet ministers are under 40 years old. And actually, we have a 40.2% female representation at the cabinet. The chief minister, for example, is also under 35. So the president has made a significant decision, as he says it, this is a democracy and the young people are the majority, so he believes that means the young people must lead. And we believe by doing that we are also, I think we're an example for a lot of countries across the region, and we know we have the eyes of the region on us to deliver. And I think, similar to what you said, the Nigerian Honorable Minister Bosun is also, you could say, part of that revolution from Nigeria. And we've actually definitely been in contact. We actually met at the UN General Assembly, and we've been in close contact. And I've actually been at his hub yesterday. We were communicating, and he made sure I was able to go visit the hub. And I think that's a testament, because I do think within the ICT African ministers, I think it's one of the sectors where you have a lot of young representation actually across the region, and a fair number of us are in close contact. And I think maybe that's one of the things which you say on maybe, I don't know how much of that used to happen before, but we have our close WhatsApp groups where we communicate, we share ideas, we're able to call up on each other for advice and to discuss, just brainstorm maybe challenges that we have. And lots of interesting conversations about how we believe we can achieve a lot more if we collaborate together, and we're definitely making strides to do that. So that has been really interesting, and I'm really thankful for partnerships such as that. And definitely that's where, and again, hence my visit to Nigeria, really is to further strengthen those relationships and those conversations.
Thank you. So we've seen that you had a MOU that you signed with Kenya, I believe. So should we expect something similar coming out of your trip to Nigeria?
Absolutely. I believe we're meant to meet for the MWC in Barcelona in a couple of weeks, and we'll definitely be discussing some of those. But I also want to say, even beyond actually getting an MOU, we actually started doing the work in terms of collaboration. But we know in terms of just formalizing some of those areas that we want to collaborate, we'll definitely look to see how we formalize that. But the work in terms of collaborating together has already started. Nigeria and Sierra Leone have a long history of partnership and being allies. So in terms of digital cooperation, that would not be different.
All right. Talk to us about your impression of the Co-Creation Hub, which you said that you have visited, and then you use that to also tell us more about the Tech City project, the Tea Cocoa, I believe you call it in Sierra Leone, for which you've gotten a large expanse of land outside of Freetown. What is it all about? When will it be ready? And how will your experience at the Co-Creation Hub impact on that tea cocoa project?
So the visit to the hub was amazing in terms of talking to the team around what the journey has been actually. I think that was one of the most interesting things for me. They took us through the journey from when the hub was founded by Honorable Minister Bosun and his partners to what it is now and what has been the significant contributing factors to the success that it has had. And really, that was really, and I've also been to a couple of other hubs in and around in Lagos and in Abuja as well, just to see what I think Nigeria has made significant strides within that in terms of looking at the success that has come out of those hubs. So I've made a couple of visits in and around just to see the different iterations of what these hubs look like. So that's been super useful for me, and I specifically, because we are on this journey in terms of setting up our own tech and innovation hub we call it a tech and innovation city in Sierra Leone, that would be a special economic zone to support and kickstart the tech ecosystem. And with visiting these hubs in Nigeria, a big part of that is to learn what they have been able to do, the different things that they've been able to do and the success that they've been able to have. It's not going to be about replicating those exact models in Sierra Leone. We're going to take bits and pieces that would then fit into our own larger strategy that we have in terms of promoting or creating infrastructure that would promote skills to jobs, digital skills to job pipeline. Because in Sierra Leone, we know, looking at the size of our economy, we know then that means we have to be more outward looking and more outward focused. So in terms of digital skills, so that's kind of where we want to position ourselves. We're also definitely keen on acceleration. So how can we really create this pipeline from ideation to commercialization for our tech innovators in Sierra Leone, and really supporting that investment into their ideas. But then most importantly also for us is that zone where we would look to create a conducive ecosystem to attract foreign tech investors within the region and also outside of it.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bah, for joining us today on the morning show. And we're looking forward to more relationships between Sierra Leone and Nigeria and our tech growing and growing. And it's so lovely to see a young person in powerful positions. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's time now for a